Hello again. At least 40 of the 53 arrested military veterans belonging to the Liberation Struggle War Veterans Group have criminal records ranging from murder and kidnapping to armed robbery and rape. The details have emerged during bail hearings over a hostage situation involving 3 government ministers. These military veterans claim to have fought for the country's freedom. Now they are demanding compensation. They could have been absorbed into the new SA Defence Force after 1993, but there seems to be no solid evidence to show this. So question remains, are they legit or just imposters? Let's discuss this now with Pikkie Greef from the South African National Defence Union. Pikkie, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time this hour. The last time you and I spoke, we were wondering how this could be resolved. But since then, we've had this revelation that of the 53, 40 of these individuals have got criminal records. And that in South Africa, of course, there is only one National Military Veterans Association, under which, including former MK and former APLA soldiers, can fall under which they fall, and they can benefit. What are your thoughts as a union when you saw these reports coming out and from the court cases, from the hearing last week, that they've got criminal records?
I think it's very unfortunate, to see that kind of news. But also, if one takes into account the audacious behavior that these people displayed, kicking down doors in Thule House, taking a minister or ministers hostage and so on, then I think that comes as little surprise, though, that some of them would have criminal records.
Yes, 40 out of the 53. That's quite a huge number. And what are your thoughts as a union that they've got this specific group of the so-called Liberation War Veterans Group, while there is a National Military Veterans Association that everybody should fall under and therefore benefit from their contribution?
Well, the Veterans Association that you're referring to is an umbrella organization that is like an organization that caters for all other organizations in the country. So, for instance, Umkhonto Sizwe, before it was disbanded, would also fall under the jurisdiction of that Veterans Association. So it still begs the question, even though Umkhonto Sizwe has disbanded, why these people could not follow the protocols that is provided for in the Military Benefits or Military Veterans Act, and through the association that's really there to cater for their needs and their interests. To kick down doors and take people hostage is simply unacceptable.
Yeah, and one of them apparently last week during the court, in court rather, reports coming out of that was that they're acting in this way because when they were in exile, they were promised a lot of things. If you look at their financial demand, including housing and better jobs and stuff. But from my understanding, under this umbrella Military Veterans Association, people would have been taken care of. Or am I being too simplistic?
No, not at all. Certainly there were promises made, but in the end, it's about what's in the Military Veterans Act. And, that act provides for free public transport under certain circumstances to veterans. It provides for housing, for medical, and so on. The claims that they are actually making are partly catered for in the association and under the applicable legislation, but the claim of a cash payout is simply not a reasonable one, and it's not grounded in any law or any rule, no matter what promises were made to anybody. There is a certain procedure to apply for one's military benefits, and certainly one must follow the law in doing so.
Thank you very much.
Might I just add?
Yes. Yes, Pikkie, very quickly.
No, well, thousands of veterans have in fact benefited under the Veterans Association and under the applicable legislation. So there's no reason for somebody to go outside of the law to try and get their benefits.
Thank you very much.
And I think it's discredit.
Thank you very much. Pikkie Greef there from the South African National Defence Union.